Hey guys, this is kind of confusing. This is over here on Reddit. Yeah, you can see I got a million tabs open. I want to go down another long conversation I had with someone on something. But for now, let's look at this. I ran across this first. And reading this, it says, sorry, that's the mouse noise in the background. I'll try to dial it down. Dial down my actions. It says concrete slab detail, and don't pause the screen and read my reply yet. Don't read it yet. But when I looked at this pad detail, I see that it looks like footers and rebar here, and slab design for 40 psi live load and 10 pounds per square foot lateral loading. Terminated bars with 8-inch long, 8-inch. Let me magnify it. Okay. With 8-inch long, 90-degree hooks at existing dowel. All right, so there's the dowel. Oh, I can see dowel now. Shit, I asked that down in the question. So this is just going to be the rebar sticking straight up. I guess we do got to get to my question because I said dowel here. So I'm going to fix that real quickly. I said all I see is composite action in slab walls besides dowels. I said question mark because I didn't know if it was, I was calling these dowels when I saw it just sticking up a little bit, but I couldn't read that small print. I just sort of gleaned over the thing there. Here's this cover, 1.5 inches. There's the rebar, 6 inches thick. The pad. The pad's detail is 6 inches. Fabricated and place reinforcement in accordance with ACI publication SP66 ACI detailing manual. So he wants this guy to go buy a detailing manual, latest edition. Instead of just giving him the detail, he paid for it. This is a structural engineer that signed this off, I believe. Place concrete in compliance with ACI 304. All concrete shall be mechanically vibrated. Reinforcing support, all reinforcing bars and welded wire fabric, that's WWR, shall be adequately chaired, so you can get this 1.5 inches. Bolstered, lifted, or hook is not, or lifting, or hook is not permitted. So it shall be adequately chaired / bolstered, period. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. My eyes are... Why the hell's my eye cleaner at? Not around here. I need to clean these eyes up because I couldn't even see that period. Looks like I got to magnify again for us. All right. Lifting or hook is not permitted, meaning you just can't place it down there and lift it into place. He wants the chairs. Now he said 2-directional. Where the hell is that 2-directional? Terminate bars with 8-inch long, 90 degree hooks at existing dowel. So he doesn't show what the hooks look like, and he says hooks. So a hook is not a 90. A 90 looks like that. Hook goes around and back. Well, it's the radius matters on those hooks, and he said 8 inches long. And where you measure from matters. All right, so here it is, 3 number 10, 10-inch on center each way. I only see 2 walls here, so that's by default makes it a one-way slab, but reinforcement 2 directions. And it's 1.5 inches, so it's just bottom steel, no top steel. With that said, I go down and read the comments. And, guys, something about his wife, right? What did he say this? Thanks to my previous post here, and that's why I click it and show you in a second, I was able to find a somewhat local engineer. My contractor wasn't thrilled with changes, but I demanded the plans be followed to the letter and had to be the unfun client who supervises, meaning him. Thank you to those who reached out. I'm posting today to just get an opinion on the plans. So many people responded that a freestanding slab 15 feet wide wasn't possible. There's 15 feet. Without a column that now I'm tasked with soothing my wife's concerns. Would you add support column strong enough to build on top of as is? Now, strong enough to build on top of as is. Thanks again for all your feedback. So I'm confused. This is the pad, and it doesn't talk about slope or anything else, and somewhere is in Kentucky or something like that, because this guy says he knows somebody in Kentucky. He says, I am a little surprised that the notes for applied load isn't designed for just for gravity loads, not tornadoes. That is supposed to be a shelter for shelter you from. That's a question mark. I'm sort of in his shoes too. So the number 3 at 10 inches on center is literally just temperature and shrinkage steel based on 0.0018. No fucking way this is a tornado shelter, let alone a regular elevated slab. You might want to pay another engineer to peer review this. For real, haven't run the calculation, but I doubt a 6-inch slab can span 15 feet with number 3 rebars. I don't think I've ever used number 3 rebars. This guy P, pretty certain I'm not allowed to. I've only ever seen in as-built as spiral ties yield columns. If this is a tornado shelter, Google. Okay, I'm having a fun. Find out element model association. Now, shelter. Google FEMA. Taking shelters from the storm. Perspective details for shelters. All right, so let's just look at his further comment. Oh, well, I started replying, and then I said, oh, I forgot to look at his link. So let's look at his link, because that's the way you do links here. So his first posting was 11 days ago. I'm having, and I don't even know if that's yesterday, I haven't been here. This is posted 15 hours ago. Okay. So his original question is, I'm having a concrete roof poured this week. A concrete roof poured this week. And I'm like, wait a minute, right there, I'm running into confusion because this detail says slab. All right, it doesn't say roof. There's no pitch on this. It's a flat roof. There's literally no pitch on this indicating that. So I don't know what this guy is doing, but he's saying it's a roof over here, and then he says this is a slab over here. So I'm like, wait a minute, is this a slab on grade? Are you going to go underneath of it? Let's just read my comments now, because right then I was like, oh, I started writing something here, and I got to go feed the cats. I forgot what the hell I was filling in. See, look, I forgot what I was filling in here. Let me just write this. This was not what I was going to write, though. This is a roof in your first post, and now it is a pad in this posting. And shows 0. Shit. Sorry, guys. 0 degree of pitch. This is confusing. Not confusing. Not 10% confusing. Not 10% confusing. But 100% confusing. Alright, let me move that percentage over a little bit, and let's go. So the plans, let's see what I write here. I said, so the plans show 90-degree hooks. So the engineer does expect deflection, and yet no top steel. Detail on the connection of the two steels. All right, the wall and the slab. He does not mention he does not mention the about to elevate into the pad. He does not mention the above to elevate into the pad. He does not mention the amount to elevate into the pad from the walls section, nor does he show that into the pad section from the walls. Nor does he show, and I said to he, I don't know, show any 90-degree bends to composite action the slab and walls, these walls besides dowels, in which we show. And this something you are to climb into? How is the door and second means of egress taking place? If debris blocks your entrance, how do you escape? Is there an exterior wall having the single mid-act? Oh, is that an exterior wall having the single mid-axis steel? He put one single steel right in the middle. So that, that's whatever. I don't know if it's a wall or it's all poured. It appears the engineer notes reference ASTM, but he references ATSM one time, and then ACI 301. But it appears he needs to reference it in his drawings himself. This pad definition is confusing because it becomes a roof if you are going to underneath of it, a pad if you're only on top of it, and no one will ever go underneath, right? And no one will go underneath if it's a pad. If it's a, quote, pad. As his drawing states. It is identified as a pad and not a bunker. Again, why is it called a pad and not a roof? All right, let's just go ahead and just leave that comment like that. I'm not going to go into more detail of that. So this guy is coming over here, and we're getting these. So let's look at the engineers, and this one's worrying about this and that, but they're not referencing that if it's a roof, that it needs a pitch on it, and now we're talking about what loads they have there, snow loads or whatever. And here's a guy talking about tornadoes. I want to look at just people with the PEs and stuff like that. Does it matter that it is enclosed two-way slab? I don't know if it's enclosed or not. They don't show it enclosed. They don't show corner details. Right. Then you're missing a top bar. Okay, what is top bar? Okay, right, yes. When a slab bends downward due to self-weight, the top is in compression. Okay, this is someone's trying to debunk this guy. The bending reverse is due to high winds. That's not because of bending reversing. It's because of the ends or your anchor points. Thank you for your explanation. Correct though. I misread the dimensions. You might be okay with a single bottom layer for 15 feet span, but three number 10s at 10 inch on center for 15 foot span. It's two direction also. Does not look right, and is on the top light of reinforcement side, and the loading of only 40 pounds per square foot live and 10 lateral is low as well. If it's outside where it can be walked on, then you need 60 pounds per square foot live minimum. I don't know where he's coming up with that. He's not referencing, he or she. If you're parking cars on it, then more. Then also you need wind loading, which depending on the surrounding area. Okay, if you got 4 thumbs up, let's see what else we got here. Somebody said do a post. A post is just going to create a punching shear problem. So now, yeah, this is so this guy, especially gets an engineer, he blocks out this guy's stamping and identification, and he publishes here. But the guy made it clear this is a concrete slab detail. Slab, not an elevated slab. It doesn't say elevated slab. So this is a weird, neat thing to look at. And there is loading coming down here like this. So we'll go ahead and do one of my famous screenshots. And we'll do this. We'll bring it up. And we'll go ahead and drag this out. We'll drag this little queen out here a bit. And we'll grab this. So here's our loading. And we'll change. Yeah. Let's copy that. And let's duplicate. Oops. Alright, so here's our loading. Alright, let's put our loading everywhere, on the ends even. Okay. And let's throw some loading here. So the unsupported span is from here to here, and this would be where your shear would probably take place, right? And we'll do that one too. But in reality, the shear does not look like that. Even though you think of it like that, the shear on a failure or something like this looks more like that. Yeah, that's right. Whether you want to believe it or not, cupcakes, it looks more like that. All right, but in this case, it would have some uplift here. If this deflects down, let me do this and change the color. And we'll change it a little bit finer than that, and we'll do red. Okay, let's move this up. Oops. That's okay, it bends now. All right, deflection in the middle here. So here's your loading. You get some deflection a little bit. We got downwards action like that, which creates an uplift here. All right. How did he handle that uplift? It's just dialed. He doesn't say how many inches on center it is. He doesn't do that. And what would be better would be some 90s like that, tying in down here. And then he used hooks, he said. So he said 8-inch hooks, so it's like that. And then your 90s would be up here like this. And then you'd have some steel going over. All right, you can do that. You can miss the mid steel if you want. I wouldn't recommend they do that, because then you got to worry about plate. That little bit of extra money is not going to hurt just to continue it over. So there's your 90s tying in here side, and then here. Why do that? It's only 15 feet. You're buying the whole length of steel anyway that can make that span. So just run it across. All right, run it across. If you want to have a little fun, there we go. You could make it, since it's 15 feet and you're buying 20-foot length, you can go ahead and turn the 90s down. And turn the 90s to make this one piece. And now fabrication becomes a little bit of a problem. And then he doesn't talk about shoring and how many days to keep it up, and deflection. So this, but he calls it a pad. So I am not, what's going on is weird. This is, it may look elevated, but this becomes what? A foundation. This is just a foundation. It can't be columns or a wall. It doesn't say wall. It's like this is existing, and he built this, and he's putting this on top, the pad. But the pad is not a pad unless you're only on top of it. It's a roof otherwise, and what he mentions over there, he says a roof. So why is it being called a pad here, a slab here, and yet, let's do this, and yet the guy calls it a roof, and there's no pitch. This presents as on plane. There's no talk about tapering. There's no overhang. There's no talk about sealing this for water penetration. There's nothing addressing that. No type of seeker swell that would close up as water gets to it. No multiple means of egress in case the storm comes. Apparently, the guys worry about sniper storm. And it blocks one of the doorway. Now you're stuck in there and you've made a coffin. So this is some weird stuff here. So there's your deflection. I'm going to exaggerate it. All right, when you do that, this top becomes in compression, and 6 inches may spall concrete off. It may not. It may, if you leave it alone, it might last. Things are new. They hold up pretty damn long until you start loading it. And then that's when all of a sudden now everything starts looking a little funky and wonky. You start getting separation here. Maybe your concrete's not strong. Maybe you start getting some spalling inside. Whoa. Well, I'll just take your arrow and put it here. And then drop that down like, oh, that didn't work out. Spalling inside there as it's rotating, so a spalling section. Let's get rid of that sheer little thing. You start seeing fractures and cracks. Maybe you don't see them, but at the top you might see a crack right about here. That's really long into the game. At that point, you look down here and you see crack on your concrete, trying to wonder what that crack is. Well, that means it already started cracking, because it cracks from the bottom up when you're doing that. You think it would be the top down, but when the steel's placed like this, I've observed through testing is that it cracks from the bottom up, and it likes the plane of the steel. So it likes to crack along the plane. And then from there, because that's where the stress is taking, so it breaks itself from the steel here. And then watch what I do here. And then as it's still loading, it grows. And it grows back to the point of the deflection, the part of the area that's deflecting the most. So if you're loading it here and here with the car loading, for example, it'll work its way back like that. It'll see a point load here and point load here, and it works back like that. If you were to move this all the way over here, that son of a bitch will work its way down like this. And maybe somewhere about there. But this is coming off. This is ejecting off. But you don't have a car that's small. So it's 15 feet wide. We're assuming it's a car. And he's putting it, tire loading here and here. Pretty close to the edges. That's nice, but almost transferring down here. It'd almost be better if he did this in cantilever. In other words, move this column over directly on if this was a car. If he plans on parking here, to put the wall system underneath of it here. And here where your cars are loading. And then cantilever the outside edges. That way your loading of your vehicle is directly down this wall system. It is narrower. It makes everything a little narrow. More narrow. Alright, I think it sucks myself. But it's just so you guys know, you can put a damn tractor trailer on it at that point. It's all direct. You don't have to worry about this canted area. It's that's wrong. This deflection like that. All right, end of this video, posting it, and I'm sort of enjoy the Reddits over here now that I'm only new to this, only a few days ago. Let's see, they give you a birth date here. Let's see, profile, and it says my birth date is August 22nd. That's the cake day. That means you signed up then. So you can come over and find me if you want. The trolls, don't come over here and find me. I like it over here. I just block you. As soon as I see some stupid ass comment, it's not related to this, to the topic, I let it go. You get one thing to say, and I might not even finish reading it. I've already seen a couple of them, so I've already got a block list over here, because I found out over here in Reddit that there's a lot of haters. People have informed me already. They wrote me telling me, look, there's a lot of haters here. You got to cater to them. And I'm like, I'm not pandering. There's 38% of the people give my content thumbs up. So I'm just deal with the 38%. The other 64%, as they speak up, I just delete them. So they never see my, I don't know if they see my post or not. Yes, the posts get downgraded, I found out. If you don't pander to them and get the thumbs up, then you get downgraded to, your content doesn't get out there. I don't give a shit. I'm just putting it here. If they block it, that's them. Their ignorance, blocking education. And I'll share this over on Tube and on Rumble, baby. So I'll see you on Rumble and I'll see you on YouTube. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye. Cat video. That's interesting. Do I have my B-roll ready? Do I have my B-roll ready? Let's give me a second here. Add some B-roll on the cat love. Okay, we got Nancy in the house. Let's see what we got.
Who's Nancy? She just turned towards.
Is that Stephanie? I gotta see. I'll tell you in a second.
The tuna.
I think it's Stephanie.
That girl knows her tuna. Look.
That's Stephanie.
Come on. You can.
Stephanie.
Come on. Come on, Stephanie. Come on, girl. There goes the pills. That.
Yeah, I take care of the babies. I take care of the babies. You guys take care of them too by supporting the channel. Thank you for your support. And also, if you are trying to support the channel only, then please make that in a comment. You take care of everybody. You keep the channel going by supporting the cats too. Is what I'm saying. So if you want me only to give to the cats, do your donation or look at the wish list. Oh, I got to put a wish list over here. And send the cat love. And sorry about playing with the mic. And send the cat love out. And the cats will get it because I'm not eating cat food at this time. I'm not eating cat food. Who knows? In the future, the future's close. Might have to start eating some cat food. Meow. Yes, I have a sense of humor. Love you guys. That's me, of course, in case somebody wonders.